So you need to give me the access for this. So here we go. 45 minutes to 55 minutes to 60 minutes, I would be done. My time starts now. A warm welcome to everyone here who has come to learn a thing or two in my online educational platforms with regarding to studying medicine. Now, there has been a great debate about medicine and any courses. Can I study online or not? Can I study online or not? This is not the course of talking about an advantage of studying online or disadvantages of studying online. Okay, we can say this is easy, this is hard, I like this, I like that. It's not about just about that. I want to take it to the next level. I have been involved, guys, with online and distance learning program for a very long time. I'm an academic who has 19 years of experience, and in this 19 years of experience, I was exposed to distance learning programs as far as 2004 and 5. And I have been teaching online education systems as far as 2013 at the University of Colombo. And this is how I just saw certain perspectives and certain challenges. And I'm going to tell you whether what can you see in my picture is going to be the reality of you medical doctors in the future. Mata mage kamare indagena medical degree ekak study karanda puluwanda. You are seeing here a beautiful lady doctor wearing what you called a scrub. Wearing a scrub. A scrub can come in many colors, right? This is a green color scrub. The student is wearing it, and the student is having the tab to write notes. There is a digital pen or a marker, and there is a laptop, and she's drinking tea, and she's studying from her bedroom. This is the main phenomena which actually occurred after COVID-19, where we got used to this particular methodology. So when we talk about this kind of education, what I would like to take your attention is to that lot of people thought this is impossible. This is a failure. It is impossible until COVID-19 hit us. After COVID-19 hit us, you know what people said? They segregated and said that there are things you can do online and there are things you can't do online. There are age groups which you can teach online. There are age groups which you can't teach online. And thereafter, what people said is that if you want to teach online, you need to teach for like master's classes, MBAs, undergraduate classes, etc. You can't teach online education for A-level classes. Students are not going to look at the screen for too long. They're not going to enjoy. You can't teach certain subjects. You can't teach mathematics online. How are you going to teach it? So these were challenges which were there. You can't teach chemistry online. How are you going to show the experiments? When these were there, I'm telling you a drastic change, which actually happened is that this entire system changed so much that people went to go to online platforms for grade 8, 7, 6, 5, and each time it goes down like that, people said this won't happen and that won't happen. When the education came to grade 7, they said, well, people in grade 4, 5 can't do this. Then it came to 4, 5. Then people said, you know, in grade this, they can't do this. Then it came to that. Like that, it kept on changing. Like that, it kept on changing. This changed so much, guys, so much so that, you know, it has changed that would you believe, if anyone can raise a hand in the screen, the hand option, would you believe if I say that today upper kindergarten, lower kindergarten, age group of 3, 4, now grade 5 means you're in year 1. Grade 5 means you're in year 1. Would you believe that year when your age is 3 years and 4 years, people have started to do online education? In your house, do you have anyone who is doing that? Raise up your hands. In your house, you have anyone or you know anyone who is doing? Okay, right. Thank you, Mohan Raj. Premier has raised the hand. Who else? Anyone else? In my home, I have that system, right? People are, guys, studying online, and there is no age to study online. There is basically no age to study online. 4 people. Okay. Vigashini has raised the hands. Okay. There is someone else who has raised the hands. Thank you. So if you don't know that this is happening, this is news for you. This is news for you. How can a 3-year-old person study online is your question. How can a 4-year-old person study online? We thought you can't study online. No, parents are doing it. Okay, kindergarten, preschool starts at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. These kids are front of their laptop studying. So this is not something we are not used to, or we can't be used to. We definitely can be used to. But there is a hitch in this. That's what we are learning this. Let's look at how long is this online education. Online education actually comes from the extension of distance learning. Online education is the extension of distance learning. You know what's distance learning? Look at this book which I have in my hand. They will take this book and they will courier it, or they will post it to me. I have to open the book and I have to study this book and I have to write the answers for this particular exam. That's how distance learning started. Should I go to a university physically? No, I don't have to go to a university physically. Can I study at my pace? Yes. ගෙදරින් ඉඳන් ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඔව්. වැඩ කරන ගමන් ඉගෙන ගන්න පුළුවන්ද? ඔව්. Okay, what if I am a sailor or I am a person who works in the ship? How do I attend university courses? Can't. Okay, what if I am a steward or a air hostess? How do I attend university courses? I can't. So this distance learning option became a very key vital thing. In my entire academic experience, I was experiencing this in the year 2004 or 5, when I myself was a lecturer. I myself got enrolled for a university course, which had a distance learning option. I wanted to see how it works. So they send me the books. I read the books and I write the answers. That's distance learning. In 2005, many universities in the world had this, and then Harvard University had this, etc. That has developed a long way to come into online education, which is the same thing is happening, but in a better interactive way. Now, when I read a book, I can't ask questions from the author of the book. I don't know that person. So I will need to find answers by my own self, which is why today a lot of apps have been created, courses have been created, online education has gone into this. Coursera is a very famous tool which people can learn things. You can learn a lot of skills. Google has something called Google Garage, which you can learn skills. Okay, InLearning, Skillshare, okay, Udemy. These are important courses, which actually important platforms which you can learn. You want to know more? Here is more. One of the interesting people who taught online education using mathematics is Khan. Khan Academy is a very, very famous portal actually to do this. Apart from that, the platforms which you and I are aware of, what is that? Zoom, which we are using now. So the creators of Zoom became one of the most richest people in the recent history with COVID-19, of his net wealth increasing because everyone started to use Zoom and they used paid accounts. Then, of course, Microsoft, Bill Gates had his own Microsoft Teams. Then, of course, Google created their own platform to add value for them, calling it Google Meet. Then, of course, there are other platforms like Jitsi and things like that, and many others which actually created their platforms. Everyone made it user-friendly for students to learn. But again, there is a drawback in this. There is a hitch. That the most important two words to understand the difference and taking it up from distance learning and online learning. Can everything be done in distance or online learning is a question mark. Can I learn chemistry? Can I learn biology? These are questions. Just to show you an example of the Sri Lankan State University system. I myself were part of this particular area, but not these programs. I launched with the University of Colombo in 2013 a program called the M-Learning, or the mobile learning platform. And because of the letter M, meaning mobile learning, I connected it with Mobitel. So it was powered by Mobitel. This was a pretty new experience in my personal capacity after 2004 or 5, looking into distance learning. I wanted to see how does online education work. So there were very expensive courses given by Harvard and Yale University at that time, which was like thumping expensive amounts, even though it's online. And then I wanted to see how this works. And I got an opportunity while teaching in the University of Colombo to experience a course with them called mobile learning. And I am put in a studio in front of a laptop and front of a very powerful camera. And I was given all these sophisticated softwares to teach. And I had students participating in every country of this area and every geographical locations in Asia, including mobile students, like students who are flying overseas. And it's pretty much easy going in the distance learning capacity that people can record and save the video and listen to it later. So this is an example that a state university, and when I told people that the University of Colombo has this, a lot of people didn't believe me in 2013 because this is a state university. Make a Rajya Vishwavidyalaya. Rajya Vishwavidyalaya වල කොහොමද මේක තියෙන්නේ? So this is the course which I taught, and this is taken a screenshot for 2018 and 19. This was launched in 2013. This was launched in 2013. The current syllabus is going from 2018 to 2019. Okay, let's look into what do you need if you need to do this. A good laptop. So how much does a good laptop actually cost? You know that with Sri Lanka's economical issues, the prices of laptops are just getting accelerated day by day, and the prices keep on changing. So you need to have a laptop which is sophisticated, which you will use. If you are a person who wants very good images, very good clear pictures, you need to really invest in a laptop which is as good as a gaming laptop, which could be something in the range of 2 lakhs to 2.5 lakhs. Does an average Sri Lankan student have the capacity to do that? I think no. So how are we going to learn online? Then you need to also have a tab. Not compulsory, but if you have a laptop and a tab, it's really cool to work with 2 devices, like how I am doing now. The screen which you are seeing me at the moment is my OnePlus phone. Then the slides which I am changing is in my laptop. Why do I have 2 screens? I have 2 screens to know how does the audience see me. I need 2 screens just in case something happens to my laptop. It gets restarted, it gets rebooted, something happens. I still have the audience ongoing in whatever I do in all my lectures. This consumes for me data twice. One data is in my laptop, one data is in my phone, but I really don't care. I need to do a good job. You also need to sometimes have a mobile phone in these digital devices. So it's like a tab or a mobile phone. So some people can have all. What about a good Wi-Fi router? You need to have a very good Wi-Fi router, and you need to have a very strong Wi-Fi router. How many households in Sri Lanka has all what I'm listing to you? A good data package. There is Zoom data packages and things like that. And it depends on how many are living in your house. Your dad might be using this for some meetings. Your mom can be a teacher, or your mom can be going through some online meetings. You might have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and 4 of you all want to use this. How do you divide the time? Saturday, Sundays, people are booked on all these platforms. You need to have at least, I know houses which have 100 GB of data taken after COVID-19 when everything has gone online. 100 GB they take. That's quite a lot of data, right? Next, you need to also work 6 to 7 hours in front of a computer. Is this practical? Is this practical? 6 to 7 hours in front of a computer. Why? You need to study and you need to research, you need to refer, you need to do your homework, you need to do your assignments. It's 6 to 7 hours in front of a computer is quite a long time. 1/3 of your day is going to be in front of a computer. 1/3 of a day is going to be in front of a computer. Your interaction with people will be very less. You won't go to talk to people. If you go to talk to people, you're missing out on your lesson. In my lectures, to make sure that the students are listening to me, what do? I ask all of them, can you guys kindly switch on your camera? And I have a policy in my class, if there is a student who is uncomfortable to switch on their camera, I will tell them not to be in class, please check the recording. Because if I am teaching a physical class, I need to see the people like you are seeing me. If not, you're going to hear my voice, and I don't think that's good enough. You need to see my expressions. As a lecturer, I'm expressing quite a lot in my camera, and I need you to see them. Unless someone writes to me and gets an excuse, sir, I am in a situation because of this reason I can't switch on my camera. Is it okay to switch off? Yes, I give them permission. So 1-to-1, I will give them permission. There are other issues when you stay in front of a computer 6 to 7 hours. You become stagnated at one point. It's not healthy for you. You're always sitting in one position. Blood flow doesn't take place really well in your body. It's very difficult to concentrate, unlike it's the classroom. Your head is moving when your lecturer is going here and there and your teacher is going here and there. You do so many things inside the classroom. You want to borrow the pen. You might take your, you remember in school days, hey, Machang, pen and then one fellow from this angle to another angle, he throws the pen and the pen goes like that and it strikes someone else. Then that person scolds you. It's all part of the fun thing of what school life is all about. It's all part of the fun thing. But then what happens there is that when you're in one place, in your room, you get that boredom. Am I really studying this from my bedroom? Is this really okay? I don't have anyone in front of me. I feel really lonely. And you looking at a digital device for 6, 7, 8 hours is going to ruin your eyesight. And that is exactly why many youngsters today are wearing specs. Whereas we saw generations of people, elders, egulang spectacles andinda patan gatte godak velawada awurudu 40 50 60 weddi. But today there are people who are looking at this because their eyesights have gone really bad. And my dear friends, my dear students, I am kindly talking to you on education here. I never added how long you're on Facebook. I did not add how long you're on WhatsApp. How long are you on YouTube? How many movies or for a week you will be watching on Netflix, or how many series you will be watching on Netflix. If I go to add all that and see you're more than 6, 7 hours in front of a computer. Is this healthy? Definitely no. So what we are trying to see is please find a solution in a way that you will be having a very interesting interactive session when you're studying online in any of the university platforms you have. Your teacher, your lecturers, your professors, your presenters should be knowledgeable to do this. COVID-19 challenged many things. Many people who were ready to go online, who are not camera shy, who can speak front of a camera, who didn't care about the camera is being there and this is getting recorded. They went into it, but people who were not into it, they actually left out of it. Now, for an example, guys, if all of you are in my class, I'm teaching you in my class, I can tell whatever the thing I want and I teach you and I'll send you off home. But do you know that when you're going to study online from home, you can leave this entire Zoom platform on and everyone can be listening to me. So it's also an advantage. It's an advantage that while I'm talking and teaching, people from home can learn. Okay, so he's telling a good thing. Oh, he's telling a new thing. Oh, okay, I didn't know about all of this. Wow, it's good. So this is also a good way to learn, but some people are not comfortable in that. Some lecturers are not comfortable. They don't want to record their lectures and for it to spread online on YouTube. No, they just want it to be a private session with you, and that can't happen. So these are the concerns which a lot of universities had in their online offline education. And finally, how much will all this cost? Today, you know, the prices of gas has increased by over 100%, and as a result of that, the prices of petrol, diesel is also going to increase. Everything is increasing. Prices of tabs has increased by about 20%. Laptops, yes. Mobile phone, don't talk about it. Not only the mobile phone, the accessories, everything has increased. Wi-Fi routers, I don't know whether you can get Wi-Fi routers the day you want. They say we need 4 days, 3 days time. A good data package will finish really fast. And all this I'm going to do it 6 to 7 hours in front of a computer. So this is the challenges of what we have. This is for an example to tell you why is it that online education and medical education online has been successful in other countries. A lot of people take United States as a good example, but we need to find out how is the population using internet and the speed of internet in these countries. According to the latest statistics, these are some of the countries around the corner. These latest statistics can be jumbled up here and there. Habai, these countries are top 12. So we have South Korea. Okay, South Korea, Hong Kong, Norway, Sweden, Switzerland, all European Union countries in the point 3, 4, 5. South Korea and Hong Kong go as Asian countries. Then we have Japan. Then we have Finland. Sorry, I missed Singapore. We have Singapore, Japan, Finland, Netherlands, Latvia, Denmark, and United States. You know what is the definition of real 5G or higher than 5G internet? You know what's the real definition? You should be able to download a Netflix movie in 1 second. 10 seconds, you should be having the ability to download 10 movies or 20 movies. So that means one movie can be downloaded in half a second. This is the speed it should be, right? When we press the button, we need to see what's happening. Therefore, we don't get frustrated in, how many seconds we need to wait till the next video comes up. The video starts lagging, and so many issues, guys, happen. And if you want to know more about it, you might be a bit inquisitive to know where Sri Lanka is. Sri Lanka is in the countries which has the worst internet connection. So I have Nigeria in my list. I have Peru in my list. I have Algeria in my list. I have the Philippines in my list. And I also have Sri Lanka in my list. Okay. I'll tell you a fun fact. I'll tell you a joke, a fun fact. A friend of mine said in countries like France, Switzerland, Sweden, these countries, in fact, Ireland, if you have applied for an internet service provider and he is not giving you uninterrupted services, you can go and take him to courts. You can go and take him to courts. It's like I am paying money for electricity and they are not giving me electricity. I am paying money for water and I'm not getting water. There is always water cut. I paid for strong internet. I'm not caring about the money. You charge me, but give me fast internet, uninterrupted services. You know what's the latest addition to all these countries? UAE. You have friends in UAE, ask them about the speed of internet there. You will find how slow internet is here in countries like Sri Lanka, which brings me into the fact of Dialog GSM. Anyone can tell me what's your thought on Dialog GSM? If you go on Facebook and check their page, they troll Dialog GSM like nothing. And some say that a snail is walking faster than Dialog's internet connection. ගොළු බෙල්ලෙක්ට හයියෙන් යන්න පුළුවන් මේ ඩයලොග් එකේ තියෙන ඉන්ටර්නෙට් කනෙක්ෂන් එකට වඩා. You ask 10 people what's your package and 10 majority will say Dialog. Are you happy or do you have any complaints? I'll tell you, 0 people are happy with Dialog's internet connection. 0 people. Why? Too many people are online now and Dialog does not have the infrastructure to support it. That's the only reason. Okay, they don't have the infrastructure to support it. Sri Lanka had about 7% people who are online. Population එක 100ක් නම් මේ 100න් 7 දෙනෙක් online ඉන්නවා. ඒ 7 දෙනා e-commerce කරනවා, banking දේවල් කරනවා, online ඉගෙන ගන්නවා, anything like this they do. Because of COVID-19, 7% went into about 35 to 45%. ඒ කියන්නේ ලංකාවේ භාග්‍යයකට ඉන්ටර්නෙට් එකට යන්න හැකියාව තියෙනවා. So they have smartphones or they have a tab or whatever and they are in the internet. Now that has reduced the speed and these people are the market leaders of this. They are getting thrashed all over. Which brings me to what countries have to say about online education. Leave it about any education. 3 countries said, due to COVID-19, we are not going to take students into our country. Due to COVID-19, we are not going to take students into our country. China is one person who took that because people were afraid to go to China because the COVID-19 came from Wuhan. And initially it was called the Wuhan virus. Later it was called the Chinese virus. And since it's a bad name for the country and the area, people called it the COVID-19 virus. The COVID-19 coronavirus, which you have, is basically from China, which they want to temporarily stop people coming into the country. They told, if anyone wants to do any medical courses in China, we will give you online exposure. Do it from your bedroom. Who are the other people who followed it? So people who actually wanted to experience the university education went for it. People who didn't care about it enrolled for online courses. And when they enrolled for online courses, they understood some drawbacks of what I told you. Internet connection always gets interrupted. I don't have all the devices for this. Internet connection is not long lasting. In internet online education is sometimes not long lasting for them. Some lecturers had possible challenges in teaching online. These problems were there. And not only that, this particular country also had the same problem. Can anyone tell me what's the flag of this country? This is no one. This is Russia. This is Russia. Same issue with Russia. Same issue. Okay, same issue with Russia. Okay, another country, Australia. Same issue with Australia. Same issue. I have a cousin of mine who enrolled for an Aussie university. He came to Sri Lanka for a vacation, got stuck here during the vacation, and he can't get back. And the university said, we will give it to you online. Please study from your home. And he was like, I didn't pay to study from home. I paid to study from the campus. I need the campus environment. I need the labs. I need the library. When going to the library, I like to see some students. I like to go to the canteen and eat with my professors. I like to go to the anatomy lab and see some specimens. No, they said, no, we can't do all that. You need to do online. So there are certain issues which we need to consider, which comes me to take you into what subjects are there seriously, which has a practical sense in the university. Let me show you an example, what we have in Belarus. We divide practicals into preclinicals and clinicals. In this, we have the study of anatomy, which is done in an anatomy lab for 458 hours. I have given you a comparison with China as well. You can check both, but let's talk about one at the moment with the existing time which I have. Can someone tell me, how do I teach anatomy online? How do I teach anatomy online? So someone can say, I can show videos, correct? I can take a picture and I can put it in a PowerPoint slide and show it, correct? But when it comes into the examinations of practical learning, how does the student learn it? I will give the student a dead body or a cadaver, and I will ask to do the autopsy of this cadaver, and I will tell, can you interpret what's wrong with this person? So I'm expecting an answer like, looking at his stomach, looking at his liver, I think he's a heart, okay, I think he's a smoker. Again, looking at this guy, I think, look at the kidneys. Okay, right, looking at the kidneys, I think he has had some kidney issues and maybe kidney failure. Probably he died due to something with regarding to that, which may be resulting in urine infection. Can this exposure be given on online education? Question mark. I'll give you another one, and that person will go through his entire system, and say that, okay, I think this guy is an alcoholic. I think this guy is an alcoholic. Okay, can you do this online? You can't do this online. What about subjects like physiology or pathology? When it comes into pathology, microbiology, you of course need to have a microscope with you. Every university should give one microscope per student. Now you're studying from home. How do you get the exposure of the microscope? Question. Then we take you to pediatric wards to meet babies, little ones. You will know to learn their cases. How do you do this online? Large amount of hours are dedicated for internal medicine. How would you do this online? Can you explain me how would you learn to do a surgery online? And of course, you can tell me that I will watch the video and learn. Correct. I will watch the video and learn. That is one learning, but hands-on experience is another learning. Obstetrics and gynecology. You definitely will not get to see this online, because no pregnant mother will want to record or telecast her entire operation and show it to medical students. Better the medical students be in the ward. We have community medicine and forensic medicine. For forensic medicine or forensic sciences and anatomy, if we go into it, there is a practical aspect of what we do is we give a hand to the student, and the student can hold the hand, touch the hand, feel the hand, and tell how heavy is this hand, and find what is the problem. Like, let's say someone has bone cancer. Maybe the hand will be a little, not little, but it will be very light. Or can you look at a bone and say whether this is the right hand or the left hand? Can you look at the knee and say this is the right knee or the left knee? You can't do it if you have not held these and had practical exposures in this. This is what makes online education quite challenging. How do you get to do all this unless I meet a physical university? So first preference is, in your medical education, give first preference if the university is doing physical classes. If you are having physical classes, go for physical classes. You will not get the same exposure online unless there is no other alternative, and the only alternative in the entire world is that you need to go online. So there are two universities in the world. One is physical, one is online. Go for physical education. That is coming from a lecturer who supports online learning. I enjoy physical education more, but what's easy for me is online. That's easy for me, but I enjoy and I miss, and I think I am at my 110% of capacity when I see students. When I see students, right? And students tell me how lively I am. And I always take the example of, would you like to watch A.R. Rahman playing music, his orchestra with his entire crew? Do you want to watch A.R. Rahman live in Colombo playing it? Or do you want to go to your room and just go on YouTube and watch the video he playing inside the studio? This A.R. Rahman, you can watch him live. You can see him live. You can hear him live. You can take your own photographs. You can take an autograph later. You can go and meet these people later if you have some influence. The physical experience is one level or 10 levels ahead of online. But online is good if in the entire world or in the entire area, they are not offering physical education. Then be agile to cope up with online education, because you need to get used to it. If you don't get used to it, you will miss a lot. Which is why it brings me into telling you that in online education, okay, in online education, you don't get all this. We learn from 10% of what we read. We don't do that in online, guys, probably. We learn from 20% of what we hear, and 30% of what we see, and 50% what we see and hear, and 70% of what we discuss. How can I do a group activity in the university and make you discuss something? In Belarus, our campuses are very, we have very compact classrooms. I'll show you. 12 students in a classroom. So we create the atmosphere for people to have group discussions. I can have in 12, I can have 6 in this side, 6 in that side. Let's discuss on something. Let's discuss on how should we treat a patient when they come in this order. Let's have a debate. Should the patient be registered before treating, or the patient be registered after treating? Let's have a debate. Now, how can we do this debate, guys? Online. And finally, 80% of what we experience is something which we also need to see in this particular form. We do it when we are really into it, which is why I'm going to show you that in this particular slide, 95% is learned if you can teach it to someone else. I'm going to prove you that there are universities which physically do all of this. I'm going to show you that physically we are giving you all of this. Then you don't have to settle to an online education unless there is no option. In our university system, in the hostel, we have senior students who come and teach youngsters. Looking at that, the students understand that this senior is a very good senior who is teaching us. And if you teach, you don't have to revise the subject for you because you have revised to teach. When you teach it to someone, you don't forget it. So the trick is you learn it, same day, revise it, and you revise it 3 times the same day. You will never forget it in your life until you even try it by teaching to someone else. Confirmingly, you will not forget that lesson in life. The secret is to teach. Now you're online in your bedroom again. You're online in your bedroom, literally in your couch. You are having the laptop or you're having the tab. How are you going to do it? Who are you going to teach? How do you do it? In our university, we have a WhatsApp group. In the WhatsApp group, we have seniors, and seniors who love to teach, they love to teach because if they teach, they save time in studying. If you teach this, you don't need to study because your teaching it itself is a learning and you keep remembering what you do. So this basically goes on, and the youngsters who look at that get this hang out of this trick, and they also start to apply the same thing. And this is how learning becomes a real key thing. Let me show you some practical senses of what I've been talking to you all this while. So let me talk to you about the buildings in the reputed Vitebsk State Medical University of Belarus. This university has 7,000 students studying here and 7,000 willing Pansiyak Pitrinno Lankawe Lamai. Look at this physicalness of what we have. You can see, the various seasons flowing all about. This is winter time. Oh, winter, I can take some beautiful winter photographs, winter games. Summer, right? During summer times, I can do this. It's autumn. Okay, during autumn, I will do this. It's spring. During spring, I will do this. How are you going to do this when you're learning from your bedroom? How do you meet your colleagues? How do you get experienced and exposed to these kind of quality areas in Europe? Having an Eastern European visa, having a European Schengen visa to travel all over the world. Because if you have a European Schengen visa, you can easily get other countries' visas as well. But when you're experiencing this from your bedroom, you're missing something here. You're missing the exposure here. Give you this experience of me being in the snow, you will miss this from your bedroom. You will miss doing a sport. That is why in every school, from your school days, forget university, in your school days, wasn't the sports meet a compulsory event in the year? Definitely was. During sport meet time, do you remember that only the first period or the second period is taught in school? From third period up to interval, you have to go and do your sport practices. No teaching is done in the classroom. No teaching is done. Then after interval, the rest of the teaching is basically done. Why? You need to athletically be healthy. So that's why universities have all types of associations which give you these exposures. How would you experience a house pack hall like this? This is a lecture given by a very famous professor in United States when I was there. You're not going to do this, you're just going to be on Zoom listening to it. How do you have fruitful debates and discussions like this online? How do you have group discussions? How do you go and memorize and check with your best friend what are the surgical equipments which are displayed here? You can't do this online. How can I take a beautiful picture with my scrubs and boast about my developments in my medical education on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook? I can't do this, right? How would I experience the area here like this? Okay. How would I experience the university in terms of the classroom? This is my classroom. What are the ambiances I have? Wow, it has a TV display, a projector, a screen. So I get PowerPoint slides. The lecturer is there. Everyone has their microscope. There is a computer here. The lecturer has her own microscope. And how many students all over this? 12 students. Wow. Really? I thought there will be 500 students in a classroom. No, no, no. It's only 12 students in a classroom for us. Then we go to other classrooms. This is a selfie taken by myself to show you how a classroom looks like. And this is the microbiology department. How do I do this online? How do I know how to handle a microscope? Because I handled a microscope in school. I can't remember how to do it now. How would you do this when you go to work later? Okay, how would you do an autopsy? Explain me that. I can watch a dissection, but how do I do it? I don't get to learn. How would I identify what is which bone? How would I describe the skull if I am not in the classroom physically? How would I get into the surgery department if I'm going to do online? Oh God, how do I meet patients? How do I meet patients if I'm doing online? Wait a minute. I'm not going to meet patients. No. Oh, I'm going to miss quite a lot. Yes, exactly. This is when you meet patients. Also, we take students to the ICU and you will not get to go to the ICU because you're doing it online. You will not get to participate in the most interesting subject called emergency medicine. Emergency medicine is where you actually do incidental cures for people. Like for an example, you get a call to the hospital that ekkenek avilla gini ganna taggal end, and you come there with the fire brigade and off it all and take that person in. So you need to learn and see that how this happens in that particular way, right? You will never get that exposure online. Then comes with all these experiences, the professors coming and testing you with the bone system, right? X-rays. How do you learn about this online? You can't learn. You will miss the exposure of meeting all your friends, taking lovely photographs. Do you know when students posted these photographs for the first time on the Facebook or Instagram, it's not only to make them happy or their mom and dad happy, it also makes their own friends happy. My goodness, that guy Mateka Pissu Natang Hitupu Ekena down medical school again. I'm so proud of you, bro. I'm so proud of you, man. Ek balano godak teachers logolangi. Ugulanta gahala ati teachers, ugulanta banala ati. But they will be shedding a happy tear for you when they see you in these pictures, wearing a scrub, boasting. And you need to boast. You're doing the world's most hardest exam. How can you have this exposure from your bedroom? And they in the selfie ka karagina dana, I have completed anatomy part 1. No, it won't work. People will laugh at you. How are you going to go and experience the equipment used in the medical industry, like a scanner like this? How are you going to interpret these computerized scanning? Okay, how are you going to go to a library? You will tell me that you will go to an online library. Okay, good. But where would you have the fun of going to a physical library? How would you have a physical library like this? How would you also experience an e-library in this capacity where everyone is doing? You will always see, guys, when you want to learn, that learning alone will be boring, but you need a friend. Next, it comes into, guys, how would you get assistance from world-class professors like this? Okay. And do you have an anatomy theater at home? I believe not. Where would you find specimens like this? This particular individual who is behind me is 70 years old. 70 years old, preserved in the anatomy department in Belarus. How would a group come and do research like this? Okay. How would a group come and do further research in this? It's very fun when you have a group of friends doing the autopsy of a body. It's more of fun. More of fun. You will lose all this when you're doing it at home. This is a girl from Museus College, and in Museites, you will know when you have your own friends from your school. Are you from Royal? Are you from St. Thomas's? Are you from Ananda? Are you from Nalanda? Are you from Lyceum? Are you from RI? Are you from maybe Malyadeva? Are you from Richmond? Are you from St. Aloysius? You can have a own school committee for this to show these kind of exposures. These specimens which I'm showing you are very expensive stuff. Even school, college labs have only very few in their labs because these are quite expensive. These are brains which are being preserved. This particular university which I'm talking about has 7 anatomy museums, 7. You get to visit all of this in your part of studying. This is Kumudita from Lyceum International School, who is having a large skull. This is a cadaver right in front of me, a photograph which I took, where the students were asked to examine a person, guess his age. What do you think he had lost? How do you think he died? You know, things like this. Okay. You get to be, this is myself here in the screen on your right hand side. This is me taking a photograph. This is an exposure which you never get inside your bedroom. Then I get to travel to various parts of the universities where I see further dead bodies. I get to touch and see these kind of things in the university. This is entire, all the things which is inside our body, parts which is put in labels and buckets here. Then we have to take you to one of the world's most expensive microscopes. Do you want to touch the world's most expensive microscope? Go to this particular room and meet Professor Generalov, the walking Einstein of this country, who will take you and show you. And this is Tisuri, a Lyceum student who was actually checking it out, right? You get to experience all this. We will make the fun of 2 of your friends to continue if you can share a room like this, and you will have a fun life. In your home, you're with your mom and dad. That's different. Here, you can cook when you want to cook. You feel enough studying men in the hostel. Put the right. Wear your coat. Let's just put a small walk. Uday nagitot, you can put a small jog, right? I'm a little bored today. Shall we watch a movie with all the friends? Yes. Shall we have a paduru party? You know, tomorrow no lectures, no holiday. Shall we have a nice paduru party? And here, other podda kapi kama hema kanna tu api me okkoma pull out karla pizza gamuda. Right, pizza again. All these are like your school friends. All these are your school friends. So this is the experience we give you inside this, right? You will be having a kitchen like this. You can cook, you can do stuff which online education will not show you, right? You will learn how to manipulate the washing machines, wash clothes, be in charge of it, dry, iron them, etc. These are the boys' rooms. You can go around the city, travel. The most upsetting thing in COVID-19 is that it stopped making us travel. I always believe the more you travel, the more you will learn. The more you travel, the more you will learn. The more you can travel in these countries, do more research, you will learn quite a lot. Trams, all this is something you will miss in online education. Community projects, going out with friends. Let's go to McDonald's and have a nice food platter. Okay, all these things. Sinhala Aurudu time comes, it's really huge. How would you do it? This is Aurudu Kumara Kumariyo Tarangaya. This is Spirit in the university during Poya days. All this is something which you're going to really miss, right? Kottapura with Russians, right? Sinhala Urdu Kama, right? Tamil Kalai Villas, Mahasivaratris, Christmas parties, not forgetting the yummy buryanis. Where is your exposure when you get when you are going to stay all this at home, right? You will miss a great load when a part of your friends are in a physical university having quite a lot of fun. These are the Halloween parties, birthday parties. This is me in a party in the university. A lot of sport activities which are done. Okay, community projects, cricket tournaments, right? Online, you won't get all this as it is. You won't get all these as it is. How do you experience Holi online? You know about the Indian Holi festival? You know, you paint people and other yourself and others like this. Well, we have it in Belarus. Tell me, can someone kindly tell me how do you have this online? I don't know. And you get to travel everywhere. An average student in Belarus has traveled to at least 10-15 countries. If he's really good, he'll travel more. At least 10-15 countries, because you're next to East Europe. You will get a Schengen visa, and Schengen has 27 countries alone to travel to. So it's your choice whether you like to travel. So this is Shafka, who has gone to Paris actually for some research purpose. This is Adil, who has gone to Rome. Okay, this is going to be the life, and this is the part which I said that seniors will come and teach you. Wow. They learn and you learn, and after they leave, you replace them. This is me recording a thing like this. This particular picture you see in the screen was taken by myself at 1 a.m. in the hostel. That's why they are wearing like pajamas or very informally dressed. This is about 1 a.m. they are basically having this. Okay, and finally you get graduated, and you know, you have all your graduation ceremonies and all these, and you know, my memories with lots of pictures, lots of memories with people I have taken there, right? Shopping, it's a very good experience here. You get products at very affordable prices to shop here and things like that, so you can do all those. And it comes to the Sri Lankan office, which will take care of you when you're there. So you have a Sri Lankan figurehead to take care of you and things like that. So guys, that basically concludes whatever I wanted to say. I'm going to take another 5 more minutes to wrap things up. I would like everyone to follow our content page, which is on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube, you can just follow us and subscribe to my channel called IMC Campus. You will find IMC Campus on YouTube, and you can get it here. I've uploaded a video of a student who joined a university, and she's just 17 years. She did her O-levels at the age of 15, did a bridging course 16, joined the university in 17. Okay, and I have lots of other contents which you can do. I have talked about salary scales. If you want to go to a preferred language of a Sinhala seminar, 100% Sinhala seminar, you can find it. You want to look into Tamil seminars, we've got it in the Tamil language for you. Majority of the other content is with English, my interviews with a lot of people, me walking around the university and taking a lot of stuff, all these which you can find. So this is one thing which I want to look into. And if you want to go through our website, you can check our website and go through the content here to see some of the photos of what I have basically done, shown. You can go to the university and go to Vitebsk. This is the university I have basically shared with you. This has all the details, what you have to do. And it's a physical experience in the university, which is more than an online experience at the moment. And all the photographs and everything is basically shared here. Okay, folks, as promised, I started on time. I'm finishing on time and I'm saving your time. You don't have to spend more time with me on this. Final remarks is the most important question is, how do I enter this university? How do I enter this university? I need you to have A levels CCS or CCD. CCS, or I need what? CCD. If you don't have them, you can do the Canadian A-level qualification, which is far more easy than London A-levels, the Canadian A-level qualification, and we can get you in touch with the university's admission. Most important thing what your parents will want to know is, when you tell them about all this, how much is the cost? Tell them that it is 15 lakhs a year, all inclusive into 6 years. 15 lakhs into 6 years. 1 year is 15 lakhs. What's there in that 15 lakhs? Everything you want is there. Academic costs, which has library, lectures, examinations, number 1. Number 2, your hostel, which I showed you. Number 3, insurance, so that if you are getting sick, for you to cover up your medical expenses. Food for the entire year, either I cook the food or buy it from out. 5, mobile top-ups. Number 6, you need to probably go in a bus or somewhere, season tickets. All those are included here in this particular price. If the price varies here and there, it is because of the facility which you have requested. If you want to eat better food, maybe you will spend 16 lakhs into 6 years. You don't want to stay in the hostel I showed you, you like to stay in a very good private apartment which has all hi-fi facilities, then you might have to spend about 17 lakhs a year. That's simply it. If you want to know when is the intake is open now for February, and I am registering people for a free course with regarding to this. If you want to get in touch with your counselor, Miss Sumaya, and any other counselors like Miss Christine, if you have been in touch with, or anyone else, and ask about our classes. So I have a preparation class which will go. You need to get registered with this. I have anatomy class which is going, which is free. I have a medical digital class which is also free. You can participate for any of these classes. You have to agree to go in February for the university if by then you have your A-level results. My time is exactly 1 hour and I'm opening the session for questions. I hope my session was clear and you enjoyed it and you learned it. And I gave a balanced perspective as an academic, as a lecturer, how I feel about online education. Please feel free enough to type in your questions, and I'll be reading you those questions and I'll give you my purview on that. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, I'll give you another 15 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, so there is a question. Okay, right. It's not a question, but it's just a comment. Thank you very much. So I'm a person who supports online education. So the whole session was not to tell online is bad. Online is good, but it's not the best. It's the second best. If you have physical, go for physical. As a lecturer, I find online easy, but I miss physical because the physical interaction is different. There was a question with regarding to the Canadian qualification. Can you tell me more about the Canadian qualification? Definitely. The Canadian qualification is like London A-levels. We have A-levels in different countries. The Sri Lankan government has its own A-levels. Api ekata kiyanne local A-levels කියලා. Local A-levels මාධ්‍ය තුනෙන් තියෙනවා. අද Tamil medium ලේ මේකද, Sinhala medium ලේ මේකද. Also it is there in English medium. Apart from that, you have London A-levels, 2 parts, either Pearson and Cambridge or Edexcel and Cambridge, like that. Parallel, another qualification is the Canadian qualification, which is accepted in the Sri Lankan system. The Canadian qualification, like you do London A levels, it's a crash course kind of a complete program, which will take you 10 months to 12 months. You will have 5 to 7 subjects to learn, and you will be doing it. The cost of that program is going to be 10 lakhs, right? Any other questions? Anything else you want to ask me? So a person has asked about, what about postgraduate opportunities in Belarus? Yes, yes, yes. Very affordable postgraduate opportunities are there, you can take. Also, someone has asked about a recording of this session. I will make the recording available by tomorrow on the YouTube channel, which I showed you. Please be free to subscribe it. It's going to be 100% medical content for you to learn things. When are they doing the Canadian? Okay, right. When you are doing the Canadian qualification, you can do it at your own speed. You can start it whenever you are ready to start. You don't have an intake. We collect students right throughout the year. And I am myself going to be a lecturer for you as well. So you will be in one of my classes as one of my students. Okay, that's a pretty long question. Let me see. Everything explained was okay. Can I know, is there any specific category of what we're willing to study, like not in general, but in psychology, counseling? Will they teach us on specific and considered on what we're willing to do? If you're talking about medical studies has a little of everything. It's a little bit of biomedical science, little bit of anatomy, little bit of forensics, little bit of psychology, etc. You will learn to specialize only if you finish the course. So the specialization is selected after 6th year. You want to study about cancer? Yes, go on. You think pediatrics is better? Yes, go on. So according to whatever you think you like, you can do that there. Any other questions? Okay, so guys, thank you very much for coming. And if you would like to have a detailed counseling of this with your mom, dad, and parents, and to discuss, hopefully we can probably meet up on a one-to-one session on another day. So get in touch with your counselors. I'm next week going to speak about the career prospect, salary scales, and learning between biomedical science and medicine. Which is better? Let's find out next week. Okay. See you guys. Good night. Have a pleasant evening. Take care.